So a little note on the Golden Arches. Mickey D's, McDonald's. The all-time ultimate fear food for everyone. And I get it. I used to legitimately have a panic attack just thinking about McDonald's, let alone eating it. And I had to get to the point where I was okay eating it, because if life calls for spontaneity and you want to go traveling, you want to go on a road trip, you want to go with loved ones somewhere, or you're literally just in a pinch and you can't find anything else, and that's there, and maybe actually you're just craving it. So why don't you just go eat it? So there's a couple things I want to talk about with McDonald's. So one, like I was saying, if you're legitimately craving it, you shouldn't continue to suppress it just because, it's a dirty, unclean food. Why? Because you're just going to keep your body in deprivation mode, conservation mode. It's going to feel threatened in some way because you're still restricting that. If you're like seriously craving something like that, just go eat it. And you'll probably find that after you eat it, you get it out of your system, and then you're just like, okay, like, did it, done, like, now what? Like, on with my life kind of thing. And whether that's after the first time you face this fear and satisfy that craving, or maybe it's literally you have to go through every day of the week having something from this place of feardom. So if it's every day for a week, and then finally you get to a point where you're like, okay, I got it out of my system, I've satisfied that craving, and now I don't really want it anymore. And if I want it again in the future, then I will satisfy the craving again. But for now, I'm good. Okay, so the camera was too shaky, so I'm just gonna set it up here and continue on. So what was I saying? I kind of wanted to show myself eating McDonald's. I used to thoroughly enjoy McDonald's. Like, I looked forward to it so much as a kid. And so when I finally wanted to have McDonald's in my recovery, to face that fear food, I found it to not be as exciting. Well, at first it was really exciting, but like now getting it in this video for this video, it wasn't enjoyable really. It was just whatever. It was just an egg McMuffin, like nothing too special. But the point being is, like I was saying, if I needed to in a pinch, I'm not gonna have a panic attack if that's what I need to eat. And I don't feel sick. I'm not gonna die. I know, like, I'm gonna be fine if I eat this dirty food. I don't have stabbing pains in my stomach. My digestion is fine. It handles it fine. And if I needed it, I would do it. I would eat it. But it's not my top pick choice of food, I don't go out of my way really to eat it. And the bigger reason of why I actually don't really support McDonald's is because I watched their documentary on Netflix, and I just do not support their business tactics or how the business was built. It's kind of a sad story. I don't know if you've watched the documentary yet. I forgot what it's called, explaining what happened. And this has happened to other businesses, and it just really leaves a sour taste in my mouth for how it became what it is. And I don't like supporting that kind of lack of moral and ethics in a business. So I don't know, that's just my own thing. So the fact that like the business was kind of stolen from the original brothers, who really just wanted it to have morals and ethics, and just for other reasons too, of why they didn't want to expand the way that the guy that took over wanted it to expand, and he was just a complete snake and was manipulative in a negative way, took it all from them, all their hard work and ideas, and was just completely arrogant. And I just don't like that. I stopped going to another health food restaurant. I won't name the name of that business because, I don't really want to be slandering. I'm just explaining my reasonings for why I just don't really choose to go to certain businesses or want to put my money and energy into supporting those kinds of business models or business tactics, which I'm not saying all business people are like that, because it's just not true. But with anything, there is a good side and a bad side to everything. And I just like to support the good side to things, because there always is. If you look for it, you will find it. And I just don't find it with these particular things. So in a nutshell, that's kind of why I don't really like going there. But at the same time, I'm not gonna, if I'm going hungry, I'm not gonna be like, no, I can't go there, like, meh, kind of stickler and just be like, because my pride is getting in the way. Like, no, it's still an open option. I'm not saying completely no. It's just, it's not my first choice kind of thing, So that's that. I don't want to go on a complete rampage, and I don't expect you to like completely agree. I'm just explaining my reasonings. But all in all, the main reason why I wanted to show it on here is because, some people, they don't go out and branch out and eat something until they see someone else doing it, or they get permission. Like someone tells them like, no, you should go do this kind of thing. And it's just in our nature when we see our tribe or someone around us doing it, it makes us feel more comfortable. It gives us permission to do so. So it really helped me a lot to see other people eating like these more processed foods or dirty foods, whatever you want to call them. I don't really see food as that. I see all food as just food. That's why I like to kind of mock the whole clean eating kind of mentality, or how people like to label things. So that's almost why I might actually name this video like Dirty Diet Lifestyle or something, because it's just funny to me. And if that's what people want to label it as, is, oh, it's just dirty, it's unclean, it's just horrible, then so be it. Like, balance, right? So have some clean with some dirty. Like, I laugh and I make jokes because I think of myself back at that point. Like, I'm not really pointing fingers at anyone else, but I'm pointing back to where I used to be. And man, I would not want to hang around me. I was so annoying when I was so strict and thought I was just so superior because of my dietary choices. But so yeah, today is a day where I'm gonna say it was a dirty diet lifestyle. And other days I may have more of a cleaner diet lifestyle, and some days I mix them. Actually, most days I mix them. And that's what my balance looks like, is every single day I have something dirty. Some days I have it all day, and some days I do have it every single day consistently. And that's how I keep the cravings away. That's how I never feel deprived ever. Like, I seriously don't have any cravings at all. And sometimes it becomes a problem because I don't even crave anything, but I know I'm hungry and I need to eat. So I'm just like, meh. Sometimes I wish I had more cravings. It's weird to say that, but yeah, I just literally every food is just like meh kind of thing. Follow along on my dirty diet lifestyle, and maybe you can find a balance of your own where you can find a balance between dirty and clean. Capiche? Oh, and I wanted to note too, why would you want to eat these kinds of processed foods or at fast food restaurants or whatever? Well, when I say if you want your freedom back and you want your sanity back and you want your spontaneity back and you just want your life back in general, you can't be just on house arrest all the time if you want to go traveling somewhere. So you put yourself on house arrest because you're like, well, I don't know if I can have access to clean food ingredients, or I can't go through drive-through fast food because my digestion and metabolism, I haven't fixed it yet. So I'm scared that I'm going to have a major digestive reaction. I'm going to have pains and nausea and all this stuff because I haven't ramped up my digestion and metabolism or healed it through recovery by just eating all these foods and not restricting myself. And B, because I'm scared that I'm going to be unclean and unhealthy just from this meal or maybe a week of traveling and eating out. So I just fear losing all of my health and fitness progress that I've worked so hard for, or I fear like I'm just going to get completely unhealthy and all my arteries are going to be clogged from this meal. Like, no, it just doesn't happen like that. If you're eating balanced, whatever that looks like for you, like, that's the healthiest you can do. What's going to kill you faster is having stress day in and day out about having to count, track, calculate, measure, meal prep, not having any fun, not going out with loved ones, being a total stickler, being so strict, stressing out about a macro that's off. You have a macro above your fat or carb ratio. or eating outside of your meal plan, or just fearing that you're gonna be so unhealthy from certain foods, like that's gonna kill you faster than any unhealthy food will, or any processed food will. Literally, it's just finding a balance for you. That's all I'm promoting here. Whether it's radical or not, like, and if people want to accept it or not, the only way to beat the cravings, beat the binging, beat the extreme hunger, beat the constant yo-yoing, chronic dieting, chronic weight gain and then loss and then overshoot and then weight loss and then overshoot, you know, that cycle, you have to just be consistently eating these processed foods, or else you're always gonna be led into deprivation, starvation, and your body's gonna stay in conservation mode. So it's gonna be constantly binging, constantly conserving weight. And remember, you have to listen to your cravings. Your body is sending these cravings as a communication tool, as a communication signal of what it needs at that moment. It's feeling deprived of something, and whatever that craving is, that no other food can provide except that food. So if you try to make up for the craving and with all these other clean and safe foods, you're gonna end up eating way more than your body even wanted to in the first place. And then you're probably gonna end up eating that food in the end, or you're just gonna still feel deprived and never satisfied. So you might as well have just gone to that food that you're so fearful of, just eaten it until your body was satisfied, whether that's, you know, not just right there, then and there, but it's the next day and the next day and the next day, until your body's satisfied. And the satisfaction will come, and the lack of satisfaction will go away if you're consistent. So listen to your cravings. They're communicating to you. Listen to your body. It's trying to talk to you. So if you want to be truly set free, you have to face all of these food fears and food problems, and rewire your mindsets and rewire your stress response to food and weight gain, and all of this stuff. So anyways, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. That's just briefly touching on that. Like, if you want to get out of this, you have to challenge these fears and anxieties and the guilt and shame mindsets around food and your body, if you ever want to be set free. So if you want more in-depth training on how to do this step by step, join my master course, okay? My 7-week coaching program. You will learn a lot on how to deal with these kinds of things and overcome for good the restrict, binge, purge, exercise cycle. And I will help you out in there. So anyways, let's carry on with the rest of my day and what I'm eating.